I want black women, part of the Black P.O.E, to stay alert and stay alive. Not only know how to defend yourself with a weapon, but you need to learn hand-to-hand combat in martial arts. And I want my female Black P.O.Es protected out there. I'm gonna leave you right here. Black women, protect yourselves. It's getting real dangerous out here. With that prediction made 9 months ago, I wanted to set the tone before I even started this video. So you can already have a pretty good idea of where I stand with this. I have to stand on what I said 9 months ago. Black women, not only are they in a position where they have to defend themselves, fight for their lives, now the sons are having to step up and defend the black woman. We have gotten to a point in our society where a man think it's okay to walk up to a woman in public and commence to beating on her. We have gotten to a point in society where people look at it and try to justify what the man did. It's never okay. There's never excuse for a man putting his hands on a woman. I would not apologize for that. As I explained before, I come from a heavy matriarchal family. As I talked about in my previous video, all the black women in my family are dangerous. Pistol toting, rifle shooting, whatever you want to call them, sisters. The black women in my family have been through a lot by attacks of deranged men. I first want to cover the 14-year-old who had to defend his mother's life. That young man did what a lot of young men are doing these days, stepping into the roles of grown men and defending the women in their lives. These young men are tired of seeing their women, their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, sometimes their grandmothers, beat on, life snatched by deranged men. This young man, from all the research I've done, was not a gang member, wasn't a bad kid, was a good kid, was caught in a situation where he had to defend his mother. And of course, y'all have heard that charges have been dropped against both of them. The main thing I want that family to put in consideration is that this young man now is subjected to PTSD. Anytime you take a life, see a dead body, or subjected to that type of trauma, it's going to mess with you mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. Please, y'all, get that young man some help. Get him some therapy for this traumatic situation. In my previous videos, I've explained black women need to protect themselves. There are certain lessons that we need to learn from this situation as well. From what I know, the sister had a carrying permit. Anytime you have a carrying permit, what the fuck is that weapon doing in the vehicle? Because that situation could have gone another way. What if that young man wasn't there and that weapon was in the car? And you got this verbal altercation with this man and he commenced to beating you and could have beat you to death right then and there. Second part of this is, right? I explained it in my previous videos. The women in my family know you never want to get in that type of confrontation with a man. Soon as a man threatens violence, it's time to stand down. It's time just to get yourself out that situation, get to that vehicle, get that tool, or get to the men in your family so they can come handle this shit. If that had been my mother in that situation, my mother, God rest her soul, she had that tool on her majority of the time, especially out and about. She had it right on her. She probably did one of the matrix like I explained to y'all before and up that tool and got the popping. But if she didn't have that tool on her, What she would have did was, as soon as that man said, if you say one more word, I'm gonna knock the fuck out you, whatever he said, she was like, you know what? She would have stood down and like, come on, son, let's get out of here. She went, got that tool, came back in there and started talking shit. He started trying to swing and beating her ass. Then she'd up that thing and put him down. Or if she didn't have that tool on her, she would have got me and her in the car, went home and got my daddy. And you definitely want him to call his brother my uncle. But those are the main two things that I saw with that situation. If you got a carrying permit, you need to have it on you. That's what it's called, a carrying permit. Number two, anytime you get into a heated confrontation like that with a man, hey, this situation is already over. I'm talking about to my sisters, my female Black P.O.Es out there, for future reference, to learn from this situation for future purposes. And I wanted to cover all the bases of it. Like I said, hey, I gotta stand on what I stand on. I believe in Black women protecting themselves and staying alert and staying alive and not let a man beat them to death. They have a right to defend themselves. And I also want you to realize, ladies, that situation that happened with them could have went completely left if he was armed. And he got so upset, he just pulled out and started spraying. That did not happen in this situation, thank the Lord. That's why you always want to de-escalate a situation. And last but not least, coming this story, right? I gotta say it. I gotta fucking say it. I found it terrible that a situation could escalate like this in our community over fucking food. We've got so used to confrontation. We've gotten so used to arguing and fighting. That is very dangerous. Always de-escalate if you can and get yourself out of that situation. And always, at all times, be able to protect yourself, especially if you got a carrying permit. How many times we gotta talk about you seeing things in the year 2023 you thought you would never see before? Shocking to a lot of y'all, ain't it? That 14-year-old Black boy had to step up and defend his Black mother and put somebody down. And I leave y'all with this question right here. Are you more shocked that a 14-year-old had to put this man down? Or are you more shocked that he protected his Black mother? Think about it. Have respect for our sisters. And sisters, realize when you're in trouble and try to de-escalate the situation as best as possible so we can avoid violence at any cost, so no one has to lose their lives. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. One team.